I just finished half of my Japanese teaching for the week. Here's what we went over in class. So e-adjectives was our key grammar point today. Japanese has two types of adjectives, e-adjectives and na-adjectives. Now, e-adjectives always end in e. However, just because an adjective ends in e doesn't mean it's an e-adjective, just like how all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. So if you see an adjective and it ends in e, it's probably an e-adjective, but not necessarily. Kirai, for instance, or kirei are both common examples of na-adjectives that end in e. If it doesn't end in e, then it's definitely a na-adjective. Anyway, if you're sure you have an e-adjective though, using it's pretty simple. It can go in front of a noun. For instance, oishii tabemono is just delicious food. Can also then go in the x, wa, y, des pattern, functioning as y, not as x, because particles only mark nouns. So oishii tabemono wa, delicious food, that's a noun phrase. It can be marked by wa. Takai desu, expensive is. Delicious food is expensive. To negate a e-adjective in the polite form, just take that final e and change it to ku, and then add naides or arimasen. Mostly interchangeable, although naides maybe is heard a little bit more in speech. So oishii desu is delicious, oishiku naides or oishiku arimasen, not delicious. The adjective e, or good, does conjugate as though it was yoi though, so the negative is yoku nai desu or yoku arimasen. Likewise, some adjectives just happen to end in the sound nai, so don't get confused there. Tsumaranai is boring, so tsumaranai desu is boring. Tsumaranakunai desu is not boring. Now, the biggest errors I see with e-adjectives at the beginner level is first, conjugating them negatively as though they're nouns. You can't say something like oishii janai desu or oishii dewa arimasen. The ku there, oishiku, is doing the same thing ja or dewa are doing, but you can't mix them up. Japanese is very consistent, but you do have to follow its rules. So when I hear oishii janai desu, takai janai desu, I'm like, that's a pretty straightforward marker that someone hasn't been doing a lot of study beyond a few weeks. The second is forgetting to remove the final e. I do see a lot of oishii kunai desu, which is not correct. You have to delete that final e. And with ones like kawaii, which has two e's, one e does remain, right? Indeed, oki, there's still an e sound because there's a ki at the end, but that e has to go. Finally, I do see people misusing some of the adverbs. Amari, so not very, or zenzen, not at all, have to be used with an adjective in the negative form. So even though in English we say it is not very delicious, in Japanese you have to say it is amari not delicious, right? Amari oishiku nai desu, zenzen oishiku nai desu, not delicious at all. If you say zenzen oishii desu or amari oishii desu, at least formally that is incorrect. So hope that helps you with your adjectives. I'll see you in the next video. I'm really bad at these.